there have always been TV shows and books and movies and other forms of media that have given people existential crises. You know, there may be something from a book you read, something on a movie you saw that may have just given you a little bit of that internal meltdown because it gives you that feeling of an existential crisis. It happens. I mean, there's a lot of movies and stuff like that where that happens. But there is one movie where there was a quote said that really shouldn't have been in the movie because all it really did was give a bunch of 8-year-olds and whatnot existential crises. And I'm, of course, talking about Steve Buscemi's quote from Spy Kids 2. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about because you haven't seen the movie, don't worry, I haven't seen the movie in like 21 years because it came out in 2002. And that's really the only time I ever really saw it. I haven't watched Spy Kids 2 more than once. And it was that time. And the reason I'm talking about it in this video is because I thought it'd be kind of funny. I saw people posting about it recently, and I was like, yeah, this is a topic we could talk about in a video because there was really no point for this quote. Now, if you don't know the quote, I will go ahead and play it for you.
Do you think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
So yeah, he drops that just bomb of a quote in a movie made for 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old kids. I really feel like we could have done something different there. I feel like something different could have been done in that scene. Like you don't have to redo the whole movie like at all. I'm assuming, you know, because I think everyone liked it when the movie came out. I think Spy Kids did pretty well because they made 3 movies. I really don't like we could have done something different in this movie. I don't see why we had to go and use that quote. Now, you could have used that quote. You could use that scene in something else. Like, I don't know, a movie that's not for kids, you know, where kids are going to watch it and then, you know, develop anxiety or depression after that. Because I think a lot of people my age when we were kids, I think a lot of our anxiety and whatnot stems from that scene. Because, like, you don't just go to the movie, watch that, and then come out unscathed. You don't just go in there and just walk out fine. Seriously, like, that doesn't happen. But no, I really think 2 things happen. One of 2 things happen. The writers in the writers' room when they were writing the movie, they definitely wrote that script with Steve Buscemi in mind. Like, they had Steve Buscemi casted. He was on the cast list. And they're like, okay, he's a fucking great actor. We need to give him a great quote. And they came up with that. And even though it was like, they could have done something much different for a kid's movie, they're like, no, that is fucking perfect. That is fucking perfect. Or, you know, Steve Buscemi ad-libbed it. Either way, those are equally funny. Because I just imagine Steve Buscemi ad-libbing that quote and then the director going on set and being like, yeah, your line was something like, I don't know, I created a monster or something. I don't know. I think the only reason he drops that quote is because he's like a scientist and he created something. And that's why he's like in hiding is because he's afraid of what he created. And that's why he says the quote. Again, regardless whether he ad-libbed it or they wrote that with him in mind, they really could have done something different there. Something different could have been said. Because, I mean, if I was one of the kid actors too in that movie, I probably would have had an existential crisis. Especially hearing Steve Buscemi say it. I don't know what it is. Steve Buscemi saying it is what makes it even fucking more, like, just more intense. That's how I feel about it. Now, I think a lot of people, in all honesty, a lot of people really didn't care for it. Like, not in a bad way, but, like, it didn't really affect people. People just watched it and were like, oh, hey, you know, cool. But there's definitely a good chunk of people who were affected by it. Me personally, I honestly wasn't because I honestly didn't remember it until now. I mean, when I watched it now, just to show you guys the scene, it did give me a little bit of it did give me a little bit of that meltdown, of that internal meltdown. So I really don't see why we had to go with that one, with that quote. Something else could have been said, but he drops that bomb of a quote in that movie, and the whole movie is done like comedically. And then he drops like that. I think that's like the one serious like scene in the movie because the whole rest of the movie is funny. It's comedic because it's a kids movie, which is fine. We get that one scene though where everything just stops, and we get the reality. We get the weight of the world just pressed down on our shoulders with that. I really don't see why we had to do that. But I'm not making this video to shit talk Steve Buscemi or shit talk the movie in general or anything like that. I think Steve Buscemi is a great actor. You may know him from Monsters Inc. as Randall, or a movie my mom is obsessed with called Armageddon, or Y from Grown Ups. Ironically, I watched all 3 of those movies at some point over this last weekend. Not even intentionally, they just all happened to be on TV at some point. Anyway, so I think he's a great actor. I love him, but I really just we didn't really need to drop that quote in that movie. We could have done something much different there. I don't know. I guess tell me what you think. Did you like it? Were you one of the people that the movie caused an internal meltdown to? How did it affect you? Did it affect you at all? Did it not affect you? I don't know. But that's all I really want to talk about in this video. I just thought it'd be funny. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. And as always, stay awesome, everybody.